how to become a world-class coach. What does that really look like? What does that entail? Right? You have a lot of people who they want to focus on, how do I help people? How do I transform lives? What does that really look like? What does it take? What does it take for me to actually take somebody who's in one point of their life, right? And how do you get them to a place in their life that's going to help them make better decisions? Because there's a big difference between being a motivational speaker, a motivational coach, a life coach, and a transformational speaker, a transformational coach. It's different, right? Now, we all motivate people in what we do. We all got to get people excited in a moment. But one of the things I want you to be, especially when you talk about being a coach, is I want you to transform lives. My God, you see how he just said changing lives, right? Well, in order to be able to change lives, you got to know it. That takes a special skill. And that special skill, when you look at coaching, is not just I have knowledge on my industry, right? It's not just because you can have knowledge in industry and nobody's life could be different, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you can have all the knowledge in your industry, on your topic. You could be, you could be helping business owners, or you could be helping, people with their life or with their health or with, finance coach, or you could be any kind of coach that you want to be, but you will not transform a single life. You'd be like, damn, coach, how you gonna say that? Like, how you gonna say that? Well, I'm telling you that that's true, because it's a difference between motivation and transformation. It's a difference between just giving out information and actually having a proven system and a strategy in order to transform lives. So this week, every day this week, what we're going to focus on at these live at 5s, right? So if it's your first time joining, we go live at 5 p.m. Eastern every day, Monday through Friday, right? And the whole purpose and the theme of this week is to focus on the 5 biggest skills that I've learned as a coach to transform somebody's life. What are the 5 biggest skills? Each and every day we're going to break down a different skill that I had to learn and I had to master in order to become a world-class coach. So let me tell you one of the biggest things, right? When it really comes to being a great coach, let me give you the first big lesson, and we'll break it down. Every day I'll tell you what the next big lesson is. But I'm going to tell you one of the biggest things for me. One of the biggest lessons, Philly in the building. I see you, baby. Philly in the building. We here, stand up. Right? So write this down. When it comes to being a coach, you got to have for your people a progression map. Write this down. A progression map, right? You got to have a progression map. Though sometimes I refer to it as a progression path, right? But you got to have a progression. What is that? What do you mean, coach? This has been a game changer for me when I figured this out years ago. When you want to be a great coach and you want to help somebody, you got to understand people are going to be on different parts of the journey, right? So for you to help somebody, you have to be able to quickly identify where they're at on the journey and be able to help get them to the other side, right? Think about somebody coming to you, right? Let's say for example, you help people with health, right? And health and fitness. What's interesting about that is if you're helping somebody with health and fitness, your goal is, I want to help people lose the amount of weight that they want to lose, right? A lot of times it's people who are going to come to you that's going to be in different parts of that journey. It's going to be people who are going to come to you and they want to lose a certain amount of pounds, but their eating habits are all right. Maybe it's certain people that have good eating habits, but they can't get themselves to go to the gym. It's a lot of people who could probably get themselves to go to the gym, but they can't really get themselves to push themselves as far as they can, right? There's certain elements. It's some people who go to the gym and they eat healthy, but it's hard for them to be consistent, right? So there's going to be different parts of people on the path that you're going to need to help, and you're going to have to be able to get them to whatever their end goal is. You feel what I'm saying? But you can't do that if you don't have a progression map. You feel what I'm saying? Like if you don't have a path for them to walk through A to B, that's going to take you from here to here, right? And that makes you more attractive as a coach, because what that's going to do is that's going to allow you to walk somebody across the path, like, figuratively, right? I'm holding somebody by the hand and I want you to walk them across the bridge, right? What I see I mean, I coach and consult hundreds and hundreds of coaches and speakers. Just within a few months, I've coached and consulted hundreds and hundreds of coaches and speakers. And I can tell you from speaking to so many coaches that one of the biggest issues that they face is that they are so random, right? So we have something in our program what we call the Influencer Blueprint Guide, and literally you gotta walk through, like you literally have to walk through what are you helping people with, what are the areas that people need to know. If I'm a fitness trainer, there's certain areas that people need to be skilled in. There's certain areas that people gotta master, right? I'm not a fitness coach, right? I work on business, but if I was a fitness coach, just from what I know, it would probably be nutrition, make sure that they eat right. It'll probably be fitness, make sure that they're working out and doing the correct exercises, right? It'll probably be supplements, making sure that the supplements are right. It'll probably be how to be consistent, right? I'll have different areas that I know that we'll focus on as your coach to help you get to that next level. And that is what today is about. That is what this conversation is about, is what is your system? What is your map? What is your progress map? Do you have one? Do you have a progress map? I don't know. Do you have one? You should. If you don't, or I'm just saying, once you get your first check, just break me off a little something. That's what I'm saying. Just break me off, because I promise you that this is going to be a game changer for you. I promise you, if you want to be a coach with and somebody sticks with you, one, people won't even sign up if you don't have clarity. So you on the phone, and you don't know what to say. Yeah, I can help you with this, I can help you with that. But if somebody doesn't see a structured path forward, your conversions are going to decrease dramatically, because a lot of these conversations we're having on the phone, and you would never be able to get somebody online, because if you can't get somebody over the phone where they can hear your voice, where they can feel your passion, if you can't sign somebody up over the phone, you're definitely not going to be able to do it online, right? So like you talking about, you could forget about ads, you could forget about doing a webinar, you could forget about like coming up with a page and thinking somebody just going to go on your landing page or your sales page and buy. You could toss that out the window. If you can't have a conversation with somebody and they buy, that means that you don't have the offer right just yet. You don't have it structured just yet. Your messaging is off a little bit. And once you can get somebody, this is why when I work with new coaches and speakers, first thing I tell them, like new coaches, I tell them like you got to be able to have somebody say yes to your offer over the phone. Because if you can have somebody say yes of your offer over the phone, and a big part of what I tell them is you got to understand your progress map. If you can get somebody to do that, then I don't care what else you offer in your product or service, you'll be able to get clients, right? Victor says, how do you create the map? You create the map by thinking to yourself, sitting down with a pen and paper, and I want you to write it down. Write down on a pen and paper, with your paper, and say, based on what I am coaching people on, what has been the results that I have received? Whatever results you received, and say, where are my people starting at versus where am I at today? What have I been able to accomplish? And then I want you to think about, so this is going to be an easy way to do it. Start off with the first pillar of the map, and then do number 5, and then do the 5th pillar in the map. And I want you to do those two because it's a huge contrast, right? It's a huge contrast. So if it's mindset, right? So Vic focus on mindset. So maybe you might say, you know what? What's one of the first things that I need to have in terms of somebody having a great mindset? Okay, first thing you might say is, I don't know what it is, but you might say it's the decisions that they make, right? Let's just say if that was it, right? Then I want you to think about, okay, well, what are the other steps? You might say, well, what's been the biggest difference for me has been the decisions I made. It's been confidence. It's been the willingness to try. It's been whatever it is, right? It doesn't matter what everybody else say. It matters what's your process. That's what's going to make what you have different than everybody else in the world. What's your process to mindset? Or what's your process to health? Or what's your process to business? Or what's your process to whatever topic you focus on, right? What's your process? That's what we care about. That's what the world cares about. And then once you have your process, then it's about, okay, now I have something structured that I can take to somebody and I can have an intelligent conversation with them and they're going to be willing to sign up. All right. So with that being said, was that helpful? Was that helpful? Hope it was. Hope it was helpful. All right. So with that being said, that's going to conclude today's episode of Live at 5. Mindful Minute. Victor says, super as always. Let's go. Let's go. I'm so glad this has been helpful.